Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Paul Hall and 10th Man in G+, together with a whole bunch of people, oh, and Chocolate Saying, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome one and all.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Any evidence of physical Earth?
Good morning.
Good morning.
There we go.
Excellent. Any signs of physical Earth curvature, formerly known as the geometric horizon?
Not from Ontario International Airport.
Hey, Owen.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Oh God! Don't talk about the sun.
Okay, nice.
Melting.
I'm totally cooking here, like seriously. But
Nice.
yeah,
So there's evidence for the sun if you're cooking.
no, there isn't.
Not for the sun.
It's
not
just
the
really
distance.
freaking hot, and yeah, that is normally associated through cultural indoctrination with
Cultural.
the phenomenon of the sun apparition.
Excuse me, Ari. It's there. We just don't know the distance. You're telling me I don't see it?
No, he's not telling you that.
Yeah, but what is it? It's not a thing. It's an apparition.
Well, then your heat stroke is an aberration. Don't worry about it.
No, because that thing is not the cause of
That
the
wasn't
heat.
the question.
God. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No evidence for the distance to the sun.
Go, Neil, go.
It's coming from that direction.
These two with their sun battles.
Sun
one,
battles.
No. We have a direction, but we don't have a distance.
Any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Not from where I'm at.
Man, maybe if there was some axial rotation, then maybe the winds would pick up or something.
Arwen's trying to get cooled off.
But there's no axial rotation from any direction.
Hold on, guys. My coworker might have proof that we're spinning. Go ahead.
Earth to people. So the gravity is real. The theory of gravity is a theory which explains the realization of the stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That was
Awesome. That was great.
Just one
Thank
question.
you.
Is it a colloquial or scientific theory? Or don't you know?
He asked the question: is it a colloquial or a scientific theory?
A what?
Colloquial or
What does that
science?
mean?
Colloquial means it's just a regular theory. Scientific means it has been validated.
So it goes by validated. Everything else is validated, and then so it's a theory that explains all of those validated points.
Right.
Wrong.
I feel bad for you, Chocolate.
Yeah, you mean wrong, not right.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
right.
I said right
Definitely
because
not
I'm
scientifically
walking away.
validated.
Anyway, I'm sorry, guys.
But it's nice to know that
Sorry, have fun.
the general populace at large is under the misapprehension that gravity has some sort of scientific validity. It doesn't. There is no scientific evidence for gravity. It's merely a mathematical reification. Moving on.
I thought, hang on. Did they say that it's not a force?
No, she didn't mention anything about
I
that.
think it was done for comedic value. Let's not dwell on this too much. Someone has actually got work to do.
Come on, we
Well, I
haven't
know,
had a
but-
baller in the G plus for a long time, Nathan.
No, I'm just saying that.
That's not a baller.
That
Don't make that mistake. That was not a baller. That was a normie. There's a big difference.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's a normie.
well, the normie.
A normie wanting to be a baller.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Eric
Good
Valinder
description.
said go out to the rooftops and shout that gravity's not a force.
However,
She
jumping
doesn't
on the
know
mic.
about that. She doesn't even know the difference between colloquial
Oh,
and scientific.
trust me, I've told her.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. She sat in front of Morpheus, and that's chocolate in this example. Chocolate is the Morpheus. And he's holding out his hands with his 2 pills in them. And believe me, she's got to gobble one of them. And I know which one she's already gobbled.
Hey, chocolate,
took
I
the
got a good
gravity
one for
pill.
you.
Basically, yep.
Chocolate, from now on, have a red pill and a blue pill in each of the palm of your hands and walk up to people and just say, which one do you want before we start talking?
I should do that.
That'd be awesome.
You take
Do
the blue
you
pill
have
and
a
you stay in
purple pill,
Wonderland.
perhaps?
Excellent. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
No.
What happens if you mix the blue pill and the red pill and then take them both?
Get the purple pill.
You have an Arwen. You
Purple
have an
pill.
Arwen.
Purple pill.
Oh, shit.
Look it up.
Yeah, that's right.
Look it up. Purple pill.
No, Nathan, you have an Arwen. He argues both sides real well.
You got white pills, you got black pills, you got purple pills, you got red pills, blue pills.
That's cause Arwen is mad smart.
Moving on. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No, only in a Tootsie Roll Pop. That's it.
I'm still on about the pills, though. You know what would happen?
Gosh, let it go, Arwen.
let me do this. Like, what would happen if in the Matrix he would have mixed the pills and then take it? Would then like his person stay in the Matrix while his body is being ejected
Yes.
in the
that-
physical
yes.
world?
I think so.
That would be weird.
Yes. I think that extrapolation is reasonable based on the film and its plot and the subcontext of the pills. Yeah, what they say is it's detecting his input-output carrier signal so that they can locate him to pull him out of the machine that's got him plugged in, right? Well, what happens if you unplug someone while they're still plugged in? You kill them. So therefore, if he takes both and he simultaneously wakes up in his bedroom in the Matrix whilst they're unplugging him from the pod, that's just going to kill him, right?
Right. Okay,
Go to work on the script, Arwen.
I would not do that.
Get in touch with the Wachowski sisters.
Right. Anyway, let's move on.
Good transition.
Boom, boom. That was great. Any evidence of the R value, Earth radius?
No way.
It's just primordial
Swan.
word soup.
Black Swan.
Yeah. Yeah, the black swan took a dump in that word soup.
It's,
Did Al
it sure
Balloony
did.
find the radius?
Very graphic, Arwin, but yes, that's right.
Yeah.
This one took a dump in that word soup that is the geometric horizon, otherwise known as Earth curve. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Arwin. Shout out to Unitox Femu. It says, Nathan, why your proofs are not lovely. Okay.
I think that's a ode to Michelle Dollar, who said the other proofs are more obscure, but they're very lovely.
Ah, right.
Yep.
Don't forget
Maybe.
the doctor, Michelle Thaler.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. I already forgot it. Thanks. Won't be calling her doctor anything.
What is her doctorate in? Michelle Fowler?
I think astronomy.
Astronomy. Right.
Right.
One of the pseudosciences, I see.
How do you get a doctorate in looking at stuff? What is this? What's going on, man?
A lot of it's based in maths. It's mathematical, abstract. What it's all about, right?
Oh, looking at stuff and then math.
Well, looking at stuff and then naming it. Astronomy.
Wow.
Astronomy, right? Astronaming.
It's tough work because you got to eat lunch and listen to iTunes while you do it. It's tough.
Could be a lot of emails to respond to while you're doing the maths and making up your just so stories and naming stuff in the sky.
Are you referring to Dr. Becky?
Hey, Nathan,
No.
I just looked up for the definition of the word doctor, and the funny thing is that the first thing that popped up is a person who is qualified to treat people who are ill. Does that include mentally ill?
That's a medical doctor.
It just says it outright. So the general definition apparently is that.
Have you ever watched Friends when Dr. Geller has got to explain and Rachel's explain everyone that Rachel meets and introduces him as Dr. Geller? She's like, "He's not a real doctor." Every
shit, I remember
he's
that,
not a medical
yes.
doctor. Hi, I'm Dr. Geller. Yeah, he's not a medical doctor.
Right. Oh, somebody who holds the highest university degree is apparently a doctor as well.
Yeah, someone with a doctorate. That's right.
Okay, that's
You can have
cleared up then.
doctorates in all sorts of things, like Ross Geller, doctor of dinosaurs.
Right. Well, when I just typed it in doctor definition, the first thing that popped up in the suggestions that it was basically a medical doctor only. Didn't give the other options as a first glance. Anyway.
Dr. Faulkner.
It's
Well,
Fowler,
it's also
isn't it?
used. It's also used by people to say someone was cooking the books.
Yeah.
He doctored that up.
Falsify and manipulate.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting?
Very.
It is. It is.
To doctor.
That's-
What are you
that's
doing? Just
fascinating.
doctoring stuff? Last but by no means least, any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
Nope, no evidence for that. We're still waiting for that. It should be something they could show us, right? Because they say that's what we live in.
What?
Hold on, I have a doctor.
Gas go down, go
Dr.
boom, boom
Phil
is not a good enough explanation?
No, gas
Dr.
doesn't have
Phil
a
Bell
downward
said the
vector
sun.
exclusively, no.
Did you see the response video from again?
From who?
From Thunderthought.
Another
Brian
response
posted
video?
it. Brian posted that in Master B, didn't you see that?
No, I didn't see. He's done another response video. Excellent. I'll have to check it out.
It's been
not really a
doctored, I'm sure.
response. He talks about you for like a few minutes, and then goes on to bitch about the vacuum cleaner again.
Vacuum cleaner?
It's clickbait. It's really what. Yeah, apparently you guys had some disagreement on what a vacuum cleaner was, or he straw man your position. The video is completely boring. I just have no idea how I kept my eyes awake for it or eyes open for it.
I'm totally lost. Vacuum cleaner? What are we talking about? We're talking about the Sky vacuum claimed to be 10 to the minus 17 torr. Not a vacuum cleaner. What's he babbling about?
Yeah, it's. I feel like he
Does he think
suffered
we're
a head
talking about a
injury
Dyson or
and then
something?
decided to
What's
make.
going on with him?
I'll check it out.
I
for letting me
really,
know.
yeah, you just have to check it out. It's hilarious. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's like incoherent rambling for about 30 minutes, and about the first 5 are about you.
30 minutes? What did he fill the other 25 with?
Incoherent rambling about a vacuum cleaner. Literally.
Vacuum cleaners?
Something on GoFundMe, I guess. Some guy who decided he wanted to make a type of dryer that was also
okay.
a vacuum cleaner.
Right, fine. So my comparison is to say that when he's debunking somebody who's making claims about a dryer that uses vacuum pressure, he goes to the effort of actually producing something and making a demonstration that utilizes a vacuum chamber to show how much he can dry something with a vacuum. In other words, he's doing a comparison like for like and saying, this is what it will achieve, this is how it achieves it, here's how it does it, here's my practical demonstration. Now, my point in bringing that up is that, number one, in his examples, he also shows space in that very video. So he's talking about vacuums, giving a practical demonstration, and then in my response, I've said, why is it that we don't get a practical demonstration? We get you using a false equivalence, pouring out bouncy balls into a fish tank, as opposed to something that involves a vacuum without a container, as asserted by the heliocentric world. So my utilization of this other debunking, I'm sure that debunking was very good. Got absolutely no qualms with him whatsoever in terms of his debunking of some muppet that is trying to flog a vacuum-powered tumble dryer. Good for you. Debunk that nonsense. Good for you. But it got a practical demonstration, not a false equivalence. So that was my point in highlighting that.
But that's actually kind of a smart way to use it, you know? Using a vacuum or lower pressure definitely causes the boiling point of water to go down dramatically. So that's actually a really smart way to get the water out of the...
Oh, or to get the water out of our oceans by having a sky that's a vacuum.
Yeah. That too.
Right, so given that you'd need a container to have gas pressure in the first instance, in other words, without the container there can be no pressure, why would it be the case that I give a crap about his assertions about someone else with their vacuum chamber when my argument is about the sky vacuum, outer space being fake? I don't care about some vacuum, but if he's waffled on about that as a straw man for 25 minutes to pad out his content, then good for him. He did the same on the last response. So there was like virtually nothing to it after he's dealt with me. He just babbles on about the vacuum and I just switched it off. I just lost interest.
He's a moron.
Yeah, Thunderfoot is a clown. You know, he thinks gas has an exclusively downward vector because he's got a religious belief in a not actual force of gravity. When gas doesn't have an exclusively downward vector, you don't sweep it up at the end. You don't have to do that with gas. It fills the availability of volume it has to fill. If the sky's a vacuum, the gas is going to expand in all directions and fill that availability of volume. It's described by entropy, second law of thermodynamics. Well, let's put it this way. Our claim has not changed. We haven't mentioned vacuum cleaners. That just creates a differential in pressure. Well, the sky vacuum would also be that differential. So if you want to compare it to a vacuum cleaner of some description, you're just creating a differential in pressure. Well, the skies claim to be 10 to the minus 17 torr. A massive difference. And the gas we're breathing would fill it, if it was true. It's not. We wouldn't have any gas. Therefore, space is fake. Pretty simple. The rebuttal from Thunderfoot is no. Gas has weight. It goes down. Look, watch. If I pour bouncy balls into something, they go down. Therefore, gas go down. Go boom boom, like bouncy balls. No. Gas behaviour is not analogous to solid behaviour. They're completely different. They're unbonded. The molecules of gas expand in all directions. They don't have an exclusively downward vector. It's nonsense. He's just a moron. You're a clown, Thunderfoot. I'll have a look at your video, but I am in no doubt whatsoever that you will not be demonstrating gas pressure without a container, as asserted by the heliocentric model of Earth, with its second law of thermodynamics violation sky vacuum. You won't be demonstrating that that is possible in violation of natural law, because it isn't. Sky is not a vacuum, outer space is fake. So in the 5 minutes he did address me, did he have anything of any use? Or was it just another circle jerk reassertion of gravity and gas go down, go boom boom?
It was even worse than that. He actually had the gall to basically try to approach it from how pointless flat earthers are. He did like a psychological hit attempt on the flat earthers themselves in this video. I don't know, and after like 5 minutes I stopped watching because it just made me want to throw up. He might have gotten to some actual supposed technical arguments, but I never got to that. He was just blabbering on about how stupid flat earthers were and all that. It's just unbelievable.
Okay, but good to know we were under his skin and he feels a response is necessary. Excellent, this tete-a-tete can continue. I'd forgotten all about Thunderfoot, to be perfectly ruthless.
All right, I posted the link again in the Ballbuster Skype, by the way, for you.
Yeah, check it out. I won't watch it while we're doing the live show, but I will check it out.
I recommend
Also,
that
Nathan,
if he wants to. I like to recommend that if he wants to talk about vacuum cleaners, Nathan, you just give him some space. Just leave him be.
I'll do my best. Boom, boom.
Hold on. He considers us stupid, but he denies science.
Let's not get into the ad homs. I don't care. Sorry, Neil. I'm really sorry to do this to you. Yeah, I am in no doubt that he will revert to type. He's a globehead. So his automatic go-to is to ridicule. So that will be without saying. But I'm not interested in ad homing us and psychologically analysing us, if I didn't have a cold. I don't care. Yeah, it's water off a duck's back. What's your argument? What's your rebuttal? That's all I'm interested in. Oh, right, you think I'm thick. Oh, right, you think we've got psychological problems. Couldn't give a crap. Not relevant to the subject and the discussion. We're debating the nature of reality. He's a small-minded idiot clown that wants to discuss people and how they are. No, we're discussing the nature of reality, Thunderfoot. Thought you were a scientist. Aren't you more interested in ideas than people? Clearly not. Very lowbrow moron.
Well, that's what I said. He denies science and natural law. So I think he's projecting.
Yeah. While he's denying natural law and science, he's simultaneously telling other people how thick they are. Yeah, just another logical fallacy ad hominem attack if there's no actual rebuttal attached. Now, I will automatically assume this because I know that you're not going to violate natural law with a rebuttal. Yeah, Nobel Prize waiting for you if you violate the second law of thermodynamics, Thunderfoot. You won't. I am correct here. That will never change. Therefore, he will not have a response. But the fact that I'm already aware, by you guys having watched it and me not watching it, that he's attacking us personally, or me personally. What a shock. No, we need to see gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container in violation of natural law to justify your fundamentalist religious assertion that the sky is a vacuum in violation of the second law of thermodynamics. Your current rebuttal as it stands is gas go down, go boom boom like bouncy balls. Because it's got a downward vector with gravity. That is not how gas behaves. Gas does not require sweeping up. It does not go down, go boom boom with a single vector of gravity. That is not what gas does. Thunderfoot is wrong. He simply doesn't understand gas behaviour. He's been demonstrated a moron by us, which is why he's responded. Now, moron, clown show, Thunderfoot, take this as my response. I don't even need to watch your video. You will have not demonstrated gas pressure without a container, as per the heliocentric, fundamentalist, religious worldview that you have, with your feet believed to be stuck to the side of a spinning water ball in a vacuum. Now, the sky is not a vacuum. If the sky was a vacuum, then the gas we breathe would fill the space. This is inviolable natural law. No rebuttal will come from Thunderfoot in this regard. He has no clue what he's dealing with. So his ad hominem attacks are irrelevant.
Yeah, and by the way, Neil at Discord, he did call it with the projection thing, because what I got out of it from those 5 minutes is that he was kind of like trying to project onto the flat earthers exactly what you typically do and what we all tend to do in our analysis of how the globe earthers deal with the situation. And he basically tried to emulate that, to kind of like copycat that scenario. For those that don't know the situation really, they could probably fall for it at first. And then
imitation is the highest form of flattery, Arwen.
Right, he was. But he was really that desperate. He was really trying to copy paste and turn inside out what we typically do with ballers. Yeah, in reaction from our side to them just not having even any technical arguments that they can uphold. And he was trying to project that onto, well, the flat earthers in that video.
I see. The Hillary Clinton approach. Project your own digressions onto your opponent. Very smart there, Thunderfoot. Other than we couldn't give a crap about your ad hominem attacks, we're only looking for a response in terms of the second law of thermodynamics violation claim that we have a sky vacuum.
Did he ever respond to gas being bouncy balls and give an answer to that once we called him out on it?
I don't know. He
So
might
he
have
avoided
done that later in the video, but I didn't get to it.
What about
anybody who watched it? Did he ever?
Hold on, 10th. Chris,
Yep.
you watched the whole video. Was there any response to how you can have gas pressure without a container, which is the actual question on the table?
Yeah, his thing was he did this weird thing where he dropped a bunch of bouncy balls into an aquarium and said, notice how the balls don't have enough force to bounce back out of the aquarium. That's gravity. And then
Wow.
made
So
made
he
it
hold on.
pejorative.
This is the same video. He's not made a new response. This is the same video.
Yeah, maybe it's just a rehash. He just cut and pasted. Maybe he just voiced over the old video or something like that.
Are you saying
he labeled it?
When was this released? When was this actually released and published?
I sent you a message in Discord. I'm trying to see when that. So on the 29th, so 2 days ago.
Oh, so it is new. Oh, so he's just he's doubled down on his bouncy balls. Gas go down, go boom boom. He's doubled down on it. Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Right.
I talked to like this
premiere, so
astrophysics
it
guy
was
one
a
time.
recording. He didn't live stream anything new. So yeah, he doubled down. Double down, go boom boom.
Okay, Cleary. Thank you for the super chat. I'll see if I can ban whichever the fake Cleary is.
The only time I ever heard a real coherent argument that made sense at all was that I talked to this astrophysics guy who said that in the way the atmosphere is being captured by the moon, that the atmosphere leaves and it bounces off the moon and kind of goes back and forth. I'm like, that sounds ridiculous, but at least it's an answer. At least it's not just saying.
Oh, come on, man! Someone actually said that.
Yeah, a guy I talked to when I was like doing this flat Earth stuff, and I was on the fence. I'm like, well, okay, so you've got a vacuum here, and you have the Earth, and I just never understood fully, even when I was like, on the globe side, how does the vacuum not pull atmosphere away? Like, basically, like the space balls. I kind of like we're talking about space balls. I go, is that like a joke? And he says, well, in a way, this is even before that article came out about how the moon is inside Earth's atmosphere. He said, basically, astrophysically, matter is captured all within the sphere of the moon. It was kind of like a Dante's Inferno quote, which we were talking about that right before. He said, so
say that quote again. Something is captured. Matter is what?
Yeah, all matter or ideas are captured within the sphere of the moon. It was like a weird, like Dante had just said it right before he left hell in the book. Like somehow he became more aware of the cosmos or whatever.
That is so ridiculous of a statement.
Yeah, but I think it's less ridiculous than telling me I don't understand physics and stuff. At least he gave an answer that was not an ad hom, which I thought was quite clever.
No, you just make that crap up stuff. That's not even. I mean, at least it wasn't an ad hom, yeah. But to just pull something like that, I was going to say out of thin air, but there's no air up there. So
that sounds totally retarded.
It is retarded.
And that was a college physics professor that told me that.
Well, see, they have to believe all this stuff in order to keep their doctorates and have their professorship. So they have to keep it going. It's pretty simple argument that we put out in the housekeeping question. If you introduce gas into a vacuum, it's going to fill the available space. That is demonstratable. What they're saying is not demonstratable. It's the opposite. You can't have gas pressure, keyword pressure, next to an empty vacuum with no barrier, or it'll fill the space. This is so obvious.
Right, I think I found the bit where we've got him actually doubling down. Should we have a listen? It's my first time hearing this.
Yeah, go.
Without a container.
Oh, so close. You just missed off that little bit on the end there. You know, an explanation for gases dumbed down to the point that even flat earthers might be able to understand it. Might.
Nathan, I just don't understand.
Sorry, you didn't actually say anything. So what? We don't understand. That's his rebuttal by showing the same exact thing and saying it's been dumbed down to the point where we might understand that gas behaves like solid bonded bouncy balls and goes down, go boom boom. No, my video had a response to that. It was a helium balloon going up and going boom boom. So no response to that, just an assertion that we don't understand his explanation that gas behaves like solid bonded bouncy balls. No, Thunderfoot, you complete clown. You seem to be doubling down on your assertion that gas behaves like bonded bouncy balls. No, it doesn't. Gas expands in all directions to fill the availability of volume it has to fill. Why would you double down on your complete nonsense that we've taken the piss out of you for? My word, man. You still think gas goes down, go boom boom, you complete clown? Oh, well, then we'll continue to ridicule you for your abject stupidity, Thunderfoot. Gas does not go down, go boom boom, like bouncy balls in a fish tank. Gas expands in all directions. It's unbonded at an intermolecular level. So, no, you Thunderfoot clown. What a moron.
Well, he's more the moron than he thinks. Or I have 4 900-gallon fish tanks for my aquaponics. 2 are currently stocked with fish and running. I have gas pressure through a tube, through an air stone at the bottom, and when I leave that on so they can have their oxygen, guess where that air goes when I turn it on?
It goes
Up.
down, go boom boom?
No, it goes up. What a dummy.
Yeah, at a fundamental level, Thunderfoot does not understand gas behaviour. He certainly doesn't understand the claim of the heliocentric model with a 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum and unbonded gas next to it. He thinks that gas goes down, go boom boom like solid bonded bouncy balls. He's a complete moron. Thunderfoot, I'm a flat earther and I'm telling you, you are thick, stupid, retarded, dense, because you think solids behave like gases. Different states, mate. Fundamentally different in their behaviour, mate. You clown moron. You don't understand gas behaviour. You certainly don't understand entropy.
He does it because if gas went down and went boom boom, I'd only have to turn my air compressors on for the certain hours of the day, knowing the oxygen would be at the bottom for the rest of the time when it's off, but it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, the gases get all mixed up in our atmosphere. We have very dynamic systems, so they don't get to separate into the different densities. It's an anisotropic mixture of gases. That's what we actually have, because we have different pressures and things, a dynamic system. But without the container, there can be no pressure. So, to reassert our question in the first instance, how can we have gas pressure, that would be the stuff we're breathing, without the necessary antecedent of a container for the gas to press upon? Given that the assertion by the heliocentric bullshit world of a sphere Earth in a vacuum is the assertion that we have gas pressure with no containment in a 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum, a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. The response, doubled down now, by Thunderfoot is to say gas goes down, go boom boom, like these bonded bouncy balls. And once they're finished bouncing after I've poured them, I'll sweep them up with a dustpan and brush like gas, because that's how gas behaves. No, Thunderfoot, you are fundamentally retarded.
Somebody buy him some clown shoes.
That's
Yeah,
got
that
to be the
reminds
best
me-
example he could have ever shown.
Couple of shout outs. So all the people who made me memes with Thunderfoot as a clown, thank you very much. I could do with a few more, because there's going to be a few more thumbnails required.
Nathan, do you think that he really believes the bouncy ball bullshit explanation, or that he's at this point just doing it for money and basically gaslighting his own audience? What do you
I have
think?
no idea. I'm not going to divine his thoughts. However, he has doubled down on it. He has reasserted it by way of ad hominem in regards to our understanding. You don't understand. It's been dumbed down so much. How could you not understand? What? That gas behaves like solid bonded bouncy balls? It doesn't. How can you not understand, claim to be scientist, that gas behaviour is not the same as solid behaviour? They are fundamentally different. Now that makes you a clown. Now it's very nice for me as a flat earther to say to somebody much, much bigger and who goes around boasting his accreditation to various other zealots who he encounters, to have me, the flat earther, point out at a fundamental level that this clown, Thunderfoot, is retarded and doesn't understand basic principles of gas behaviour. He thinks they behave like solids. No. That makes him a retard, and I'm very proud as a flat earther to call the globe-believing moron that is Thunderfoot clown a clown. Because he is. And now I, like with the other people who come here, simply demonstrate why he's a clown. Gas doesn't require sweeping up because it has a single downward vector, like the solid bonded bouncy balls used in his demonstration. That is not how gas behaves. Gas expands in all directions. It doesn't have an exclusively downward vector. Thunderfoot, you moron. You're being educated with an actual point. Not me claiming how thick you are, only to then move on. No. You're thick because you don't understand gas behaviour. You think it goes down, go boom, boom. I can debunk that with a helium balloon, Thunderfoot, you abject moron.
It gets worse, Nathan. It not only doesn't have an exclusively downward vector, I have to run a air pump through hose and pressurize it and put the air stone at the bottom so it can come up. So dumb. I have a faucet in there with pressure.
Yeah, but after it has risen above the higher pressure water, it does go down, go boom, boom again, right?
No.
No?
No.
Expands in all directions at different speeds, depending what it's bouncing off of, where it's itself or a container.
You have to skim a gas layer off the top of a pond ever, Arwin?
Yeah, man. I did it once.
Oh.
It might be because the cannabis was really strong. I just thought I did. Just kidding. No, I didn't. I didn't actually do it. But you can.
See, you know what I see here, Nathan, is that they believe in their heliocentric lie so much that they think with these little examples of balls in an aquarium, and obviously it's a solid versus a gas, that escapes them. And they don't see how embarrassing it is when asked to prove how their model works. But they, with all confidence, start proving, as they think, how their model works. And this guy uses an aquarium with solids and says this is gas. This is equivalent to how gas works. And they're not even aware how embarrassing it is when they do it, because that's how much they're into it.
Yeah, we're dealing with clowns. Doesn't matter what level. They've all been brainwashed with the same nonsense, and they will humiliate themselves in defence of that nonsense if they're a globehead. Thunderfoot is clearly a globehead. It's not a normie. So therefore he's going to humiliate himself in every single challenge. Well, fine by me. More power to you, Thunderfoot. Keep coming back with your double down nonsense that gas go down, go boom boom like your solid bonded bouncy balls in your example. You keep up that nonsense, my friend. And I'll keep pointing out that that's not a gas. That's not how gas behaves, that they're fundamentally different states, and for you to declare that gas behaves like solid bonded bouncy balls not only can be debunked by a helium balloon, but makes you an abject moron. I, the flat earther, am pointing out how the globehead is moronic. This would be Thunderfoot Clown and his moronic declaration that bonded solid behaves like unbonded gases. No, clown. No. But I, the flat earther, am more than proud to point that out to you, you clown. Let's keep going. triple down on this nonsense. Hopefully you'll never get to the point where you actually concede that pouring balls into a fish tank is not the same as gas. Maybe use a gas. How about that?
Wow, what a bright idea.
Kind of like he did when he debunked the guy with the vacuum chamber. He made a vacuum, analogous to the guy's vacuum, right? Well, why the false equivalence? Why change unbonded gases into solids with bonds? Would it be so you can assert that it's got a downward vector? Because that's what your solid does when it's in air. What's the air doing? Is that needing sweeping up like the bouncy balls? No, it isn't, is it now? It's expanding in all directions, because that's gas behaviour, unlike solid behaviour. But Thunderfoot Clown is a retard. Like, at a base level, he's just stupid. Doesn't understand how gas behaves. You'd think he would. He's a scientist. Claims to be a scientist.
Yeah, but they all do it. They just did it this week when we were talking about the black swan and what happened to their Earth curve. They need a geometric horizon. They don't. You can never see it, but that's their Earth curve. So they're basically saying in one argument that we can't see Earth curve.
Yeah, we're not going to get to the black swan with Thunderfoot. He's never going to stop doubling down on his gas, go down, go boom, boom, like solid bonded bouncy balls. He's just going to keep juggling those Thunderfoot Clown balls.
I wasn't referring, no, he's stuck over there. I'm just saying this thing with Thunderfoot is replicated in all the other arguments because they do the same thing. You say, what's blocking the bottom of boats? They go, Earth curve. You say, all right, well, show us Earth curve where it's supposed to be based on your geometric horizon, based on geometry, based on the radius, based on Al-Biruni.
It's all word soup, Death Man.
No, I'm saying they make the same mistake. They do the same thing. Well, we can't see Earth curve. Oh, so there is no Earth curve. So what are they arguing for?
They're perpetually stuck in a doubling down on their own stupidity over and over again, while simultaneously just telling their audience how stupid we are, while they all clap like penguins. Isn't he great? He said they were stupid. Yeah, he didn't actually address anything that we refuted him with, though, did he now?
No, I didn't see the show, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, neither did I. But like I say, I'm in absolutely no doubt whatsoever that he hasn't violated that natural law. Entropy won't have been violated by Thunderfoot, and that's what he needs, an entropy violation. Good luck with that, Thunderfoot.
Paul's got a GIF going.
Have a look. Oh, what do you know? The gas would fill the space. Why aren't these balls going down, go boom, boom? They seem to be expanding in all directions, Paul.
I don't know. I think this thing called wanting to fill all available microstates. I think there's a thing called with entropy. I'm not sure.
Oh, you've got to dumb it right down for somebody as moronic as Thunderfoot. Don't mention microstates. The level of moronic that we're dealing with in the case of Thunderfoot's never going to understand such terminology. He thinks gas behaves like bouncy balls. So microstates, no, you're getting way too complicated for a clown. See, I can add hom too, Thunderfoot. You moron. You understand what microstate is, moron?
Oh, sorry. I was talking. I forgot. I still had myself on mute. But here's another one. This is actually a better representation of microstates. You got a barrier with a gas over on the left side. If I remove the barrier, this is usually when you hear about entropy, increase in entropy, and they always use gas as their illustration, which is interesting. I don't know why they would use gas if it doesn't obey the laws of the increase in entropy. But if I put the barrier back, it stays. If I remove the barrier, it wants to fill the available volume each time, every single time.
We've got a practical demonstration. Chocolate, any chance you can dig out the practical demonstration with bromine?
Yeah, give me a second or two.
Again, we're being very kind to educate Thunderfoot with practical demonstrations of entropy. That would be gas expanding into an available volume, Thunderfoot. occupying all the available microstates? We can show that with gas. Bromine! It's a really, really simple demonstration. It's just a demonstration of an increase in entropy.
One of these bulbs, some bromine, and in the other, I have a vacuum. And if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other. Now, that is the simplest change we can have, perhaps, because all that happens is a change in entropy. In this case, the expansion into a vacuum, nothing else is involved. There's no energy change, there's no temperature change, there's no change except entropy. So without the entropy
the gas expands into a vacuum. And the skies claim to be a vacuum, an available space for that entropy increase to take place. And what he's just described is natural law. Inviolable, applicable always. So if the sky was a vacuum, the gas, like the bromine, but the gas that we're breathing, would expand in all directions and fill the sky vacuum. It's called an entropy increase. It's very well detailed. Obviously, we wouldn't get into the detail of microstates with someone like Thunderfoot. We need to dumb this right down for a clown that thinks that gas behaves like bouncy balls. It doesn't. None of the gas in that demonstration fell to the bottom of the chamber. Obviously, it didn't behave like Thunderfoot's bouncy balls. He's a moron! And how proud it is to tell this moron globe-believing retard how moronic he is as a flat earther who does understand entropy, who does understand how fake space is and how he's been deceived, and how that deception has left him making declarations of absolute stupidity to audiences of almost 1 million people. Almost 1 million people being poisoned with his abject stupidity about how gas behaves. No practical demonstration with a gas. Him pouring a solid into a fish tank. What an abject moron. I really enjoy telling Thunderfoot how stupid he is, with total justification and a smile on my face. Not, you didn't understand me pouring bouncy balls into a fish tank. It was dumbed down too much for you flat earthers. No, we have natural law, which we can describe with the number of available microstates that would be on offer by a sky vacuum. Because we understand entropy here, Thunderfoot. Unlike you, you moron, who thinks that solids behave like gases, making you thick. Are we all proud to be telling this 1 million subscriber moron globehead how thick he is? I'm proud. Proud to be a flat earther.
Oh, yeah.
You bet on that one. Yeah, I got a gift for you in Master B if you want to use it.
It's some fish.
Well, plus the air. It's not going down, boom, boom.
Oh, right, the gas not... Yes, he didn't see that. Gas go down, go boom, boom. Oh, it seems like maybe medium's got something to do with it. You know, solids through the medium of gas that we're talking about. They'll go down, go boom, boom, right? They're more dense. Of course, we're not talking about solid bonded bouncy balls when we ask how we can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon. Because you'll need that to have gas pressure in the first place.
Have you guys ever seen, well, I guess you could say, well, no, even a baseball. Have anyone ever seen a 2,000 mile an hour bouncy ball moving around anywhere in nature?
No, but that's about the approximate speed of a gas molecule, right?
Yep, relatively speaking, yes, it's around 2,000 miles an hour. So I've never seen a 2,000 mile an hour bouncy ball bouncing around.
And is it 2,000 miles an hour in an exclusively downward vector, only to stop when it hits the ground, like a bouncy ball does?
Nope, it wants to go in all directions. When it collides with another gas particle, they change direction. They go in all kinds of different directions when they collide, just like my GIF is showing.
Right.
They collide and they go in all kinds of different directions.
But these would be described as elastic in terms of the collision type. They're not actually transferring any energy. There's no increase or decrease.
Right, that's what elastic collisions are. Yeah, exactly. You got it.
Getting very complicated here, talking about gas behavior and elastic collisions, microstates. Maybe we should dumb this down for somebody so retarded that they think gas behavior is the same as solid behavior. Any chance we can dumb this down for the moron Thunderfoot? He don't understand. He think gas go down, go boom boom, like a clown with juggling balls.
Let's try one from his own side. Without the balloon, there can be no pressure.
Yeah, that's another conspiracy cat quote. Without the balloon, there is no pressure. And his other quote, without the container, there can be no pressure. These are conspiracy cat quotes. Ah. Yeah, entropy's a bitch if you've got a sky vacuum belief.
Just heard Professor Phil Bell in chat saying, show us the bromine demonstration in the scale of the atmosphere.
He thinks
like it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, we had that from the dude who was on the other day, didn't we? He asserted that, yes, it does it on the small scale. The gas will fill the availability of volume. However, if I scale it up to a 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum, then the gas will go down, go boom boom, like bouncy balls asserted by Thunderfoot Clown. No. If you increase the power of that vacuum by relieving it of more matter, then the gas isn't going to suddenly go down, go boom boom by scaling that vacuum up. And what do you know? The scale of the vacuum claimed to be a sky vacuum is 10 to the minus 17 torr. The most powerful vacuum claimed to be in existence. And yet, it's standing in violation of natural law with the gas we're breathing not filling it, as per the second law of thermodynamics. Applicable always. Inviolable natural law.
Do you remember when I did the Rand McWest, was it one-dimensional two-space or two-dimensional whatever you want to call it?
Pseudo-McWestian. It's pseudo-McWestian two-space.
I actually, in his own simulator, he had gravity in play. It was working. But over time, and I've got a little GIF here that I created from that, the gas still filled the space. It's my little GIF.
Yeah, I've saved that GIF and spread it around. Trust me.
It's the gift that keeps gifting.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. Go splash, splash.
Well, that was quite a fair old chunk of content off the back of Thunderfoot, considering I haven't even watched his video yet. Or scrubbed through it to find the relevant bit where he talks about gas going down, go boom boom like bouncy balls, and to hear his "you don't understand" doubling down. Wonderful. Top marks for your clowning. Any more to add on this subject?
No, I think it was very thorough, especially this gift that Paul's got, which is a baller, and he's got gravity supposedly in the mix here, right, Paul? There's supposed to be gravity in this thing, and it's still going away?
Yep, there's still gravity on that blue ball.
What's gravity?
But whatever it is, they doing what they're saying.
What, sorry, Paul, you say you've got gravity in this simulation. What's that?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be this traction towards mass.
No,
you know,
that's incorrect.
Towards mass.
No, gravity is not a force. It's the bending of pseudo-Ramonian force space, length, breadth, depth, and space-time. That's an Einsteinian mathematical reification that you're trying to describe as a force when it's not a force even in the maths. What's going on, Paul?
Well, you know that at the higher, as further you get away from this blue object, time starts to speed up, creating a force. So it's slower towards the mass and it speeds up. So you got this acceleration with time going on, and it's creating this force that's causing those gas particles to go back down.
Sorry,
boom, boom.
We've got this concept of time creating a non-force of gravity. No, that's just incorrect, Paul. Sorry. Gravity is not a force. Quote, Professor Brian Cox. Gravity is not really a force at all. End quote. Or George Musa, quote, "Gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force," end quote. Gravity's not a force.
Then I'll change it. It's weight. These gas particles have weight.
Fine, weight.
They have this thing called mass.
Hold on. Weight, when it is asserted by the fundamentalist religious zealotry that is a globe believer, also invokes Newtonian gravity, which is claimed to be a force, debunked by a helium balloon. Downward vector, exclusively downward vector. Like with the gas that doesn't go down, go boom, boom, you can debunk it with a helium balloon. Nevertheless, when you say weight, you will be invoking gravity, as in the original question, where's this gravity coming from? Not another mathematical reification that invokes gravity when you say weight. What is gravity?
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's a not actual force, a mathematical reification, the bending of conceptual mediums known as space-time, existing only in the Einsteinian mathematics of pseudo-Ramonian force space. Length, breadth, depth, and time. Not real. Conceptual. Not a force. Not holding gas here. Yeah, in summary, without the container, there can be no pressure. If the sky was a vacuum, the gas we breathe would fill the space.
Oh, here, I got another one for you. Actually, I was going to bring it up earlier, but I couldn't do it, but I'll try to do it real quickly now. I did watch a video this morning, and what they were talking about what creates mass inside of particle. Well, their explanation was that if you just actually weigh, of course, Lily has just decided to talk. There's not enough mass. Okay, I'll have to tell you later.
No worries. I'll leave your GIF on screen in the meantime. Any comment from Discord?
Great show, like always.
It's not over yet. It's going to be an after show. Got a couple of new participants in Discord. Anybody got anything to add before I round out and ask people to stay tuned? Don't all go at once.
I've got a quiet moment to try to explain what I've heard this morning on this video. I'll try to. Basically, like there's not enough mass in an electron to count for the mass of the particle. There's not enough in the proton that can count for the mass of the particle because of just the way it is. I'm kind of summing it up, so I may be butchering it pretty bad. But there's quarks inside the proton that create the proton. They are moving so fast at light speed around each other. That is what causes the mass. It's these quarks that are moving really fast. Even there's not enough mass within the particle, the quarks, but their speed and momentum is what's causing mass. So
What's
that's
mass?
The explanation of where mass comes from.
Yeah, what is mass?
Well, they say it's the amount of stuff. So if that's true, then his explanation is wrong because it doesn't match that.
That's mole. That's mole.
Well, it's inertia. You know, inertia is a property of mass. So
this is an equivocation fallacy then?
I guess so.
With that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you, first and foremost, to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible. If you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Massive thank you to all of you who did tune in live, smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Once again, stay tuned if you're watching on either Premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.